As the masses depart, there's an enveloping calm here, just like in the no man's land I've ventured to in the past. Can you imagine a completely lifeless world? From there, you can glimpse the stars that lie at the very edge of the horizon. Following its celestial trajectory, the Great Teal Star illuminates an endless sea of white across both the sky and land. My mother and I navigated calm glaciers, looking for signs of life on that world, and encountered many bizarre phenomena. It was like finding the single correct piece in a mountain of jigsaw pieces. The process was convoluted and unimaginably difficult, but it was touching and enthralling as well. My apologies. It appears my words have left you perplexed. A few days ago, I made my interest in you known to Herta. My intention is for you to serve as an assistant. I find extending trust beyond myself is challenging. Therefore, I added anti-truth serum to this dessert. It will not treat it as a layer of protection. This will shield my research, and I can also reward you as compensation for being my assistant. Yes. When I first arrived on the space station, a surge of creativity led me to explore the cultivation of life on the space. In my imagination, these life forms would be a new variety. I don't know where it went wrong. They possess. Moreover, my free-range approach seems to have backfired. I do not wish for Herta or Asta to be involved in this. Therefore, The researchers are still treating these entities as visitors. I entrust this to you. Once the little life forms are collected,
all remains as it did yesterday.
What? Why would anyone want to know? I'm not doing any private business. I'm not hiding anything at all. I won't talk to you. Oh, that. If you want to solve the problem, go check out this.
There's so many people.
Molten cheese tart is the best. It's a— What's our slogan again? 1. Stop complaining. Change it to 2. Energize yourself. Increase your capacity for action. And walk on the—
Our creed, molten cheese tart is the... Oh, praise be! You don't know? Molten cheese tart is Madame Ron May's top fan. This is how it... Oh, let me tell you something, Miss... Since you're so interested, you need to plaster hearts wherever Madame Ron May has been.
Hey, guess what I got my hands on? It says, let's give it a shot. And now... Yikes. Take a...
Ron May, remember, but once she arrived...
Never fear, the I can't eat.
Ron May likes to listen. So,
No idea. So, I really...
as expected.
I heard Madame Ronmay is very...
I don't know about her, but So, I really can't say.
Did I ask about your fate?
So, is the little life form Ron May made?
I am humbled to meet the molten cheese. What are you frozen in place for? Oh, you don't understand the honor.
Wakaka! I'm a genius. That was way too risky.
Oh, molten cheese tot says, Madam. Molten cheese tot says, does Madame Ronmay recognize? Molten cheese tot says, Madame Ronmay still has not recognized me as a life form that passes. There's a kind of attachment reserved for the creator to the world. Hey, you! Yes, you! Don't you have anything you want to say to Molten Cheese Tot? Good. You see, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tot has always been fighting it. They both hope to receive Madame Ronmay's recognition. You need to call it the... it's genuinely puzzling. Despite... Love from the creator to her creation? Familiar love? I don't know. Expecting me to understand love is like asking me to map the farthest. Remember, as long as love is your compass, you're... That depends if the... Oh? The Honorable Molten...
You're here. Herta called Skrullum and I to the space station to discuss some important topics. And now, I wish for you to attend this... I don't want Herta to worry herself over these frivolous... Just in case, I want someone who will be on my side. Help me. It'll be easy. Just remember, my secret stays with you. All right, let's go.
I've been waiting for you. Oh, you're here too? Looks like you two have become quite friendly.
It's good to see you, sir. Affirmation. This reunion has happened earlier than...
Though you weren't invited, I welcome you to remember this historical moment. How long has it been since 3 geniuses were in the same room together? And...
Affirmative. Discounting our discussions on the simulated universe, our interactions are scarce. I look forward to the innovative...
Let me get straight to the point. I think it's time to find another partner for the simulated universe.
You wish to kick Steven out?
No, of course not. Steven doesn't want to get involved and voted to abstain. Whatever. Look, I respect...
Question. Are we introducing a 5th...
Yes, a 5th G. The reason for our gathering is clear to everyone present. What else could prompt... No one can refuse the secret of the eons. Not even Xandar. We'll definitely get a response.
What if the responder is Polka Kakamond?
That'd be great! Hey, Lord of Silence, are you listening? I'm member number 83, Herda, and I want to meet you.
It's unlikely we'll hear from Polka Kakamond. Probability, member number 64, Dr. Primitive.
That's a hard pass. Given Dr. Primitive's shady research practices and his tussle with the Galaxy Rangers, what about you, Chingtu? Are you still in touch with her, Ronmei? Is she still alive?
Can we ask him to leave if we are to discuss this topic? The process will be long and boring.
Of course! You brought him in after all. It's up to you.
All right. Let me walk you out.
And what the heck is this?
Seems like a programming error.
Oh, this fragment of Ronmei. Have you seen it in the simulated universe?
It's probably a nice...
Fine. I'm used to turning a blind eye to...
I probably will.
All right, I agree. As long as it helps you with...
Come along. I'll see you out.
What's wrong? You're not leaving. Depends on who they are.
It appears I was overthinking things. Impulsive behavior is pretty characteristic of her, after all. Thankfully, it was just a minor scare. Still, I see that you've recovered the life form in the master... I was simply being overly cautious. There are some things that I must tell you now. The retrieval of my life forms isn't complete yet. Herta uses that place to welcome visitors, and now my headache. There's much you don't know about the space station, but there is some information I can give you. That place is also used to I'm giving you my access card. Give me your hand, and I'll input your fingerprint and stay vigilant, assistant. Should you come across a threat you can't handle, just remember, there is a giant incubator. Once you're back, come find me on the railway platform.
What would a sealed zone look like?
Buzz.
What's up with this unit?
Buzz. Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz. To welcome, a high-risk zone. Buzz. Sir permission status. Madam Ron May. Buzz. I am a twin of the rice-frying robot. Maintain zone operation. Welcome. Buzz. Visitor. Basement 1. Basement 2. Shuttle. Ink corridor. Danger. Welcome. Visitor. What do you need? Conclusion. You cannot enter. Assessment. Seek suggestion. Proceed to basement.
The kindling for the phase flame is fascinating. Unfortunately, before the growth status of the two samples this time is promising. They simultaneously possess two sets of emotional traits. Interestingly, they also possess a kind of inclination.
Huh? What's that sound out there? This is the headache Ranmei mentioned? It's just a different flavor.
I'm not one of Ranmei's recognized work. Too much negative energy. Why am I a failure?
What's that noise? Follow me. It'll be okay. I need to find a place for this little one. That's...
remember number 23 Echa, spent in the mechanical city. I'm now certain that the outcome of this cultivation. Life can exist in thousands of different forms, which means these life forms are very advanced in their own concepts. I'm starting to feel lost. Perhaps the question...
Are you telling me to keep going?
Life is countless and varied in form. I firmly believe in that. The patterns of all things always have complicated and enchanting exteriors, while their inner... Ever since I was a child, I have always delighted in observing aspects of microscopic creatures. I wish to discover the true essence of life, something that all individuals possess. To avoid blind faith in science, I cautiously raised a query. I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach.
Sounds fitting. Stay here for a bit. Did something just open?
Hidden room. Buzz. Only Madame Ron May has... Permissions granted. Select from the below services. 1. Check historical...
Is this?
I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach. And that is... I cannot comprehend what an eminent... Scholars view them as the executors of the Eon's power. At first, I tried to create a genius. I failed. However, erudition isn't the only path in the universe. Of course, there would Tazironth. I was able to see the beginning and end of the swarm disaster through this. It is a logical decision. I will certainly succeed. Will Herta and Screwlum like this experiment? I must hurry my work, as well as find...
Permission granted. Select from the below services. Permission granted.
That sound's coming from... There's someone in the distance.
Here, a genius move. And how will you counter it? Only an idiot would ask such a question. Just move this here. You look distressed. Something the matter? If that's the case, you better get thinking.
Are you waiting for a sign? Time is ticking. Descend via the elevator. Have you considered whether the answer to your question will be of any... If a question is of no help, then don't... Never mind. Allow me to clarify something. I know exactly who you are. And I'm aware you are in... My goals are roughly aligned with yours. That's all you need to know. Just... I can't stand discourtesy, even when it comes from myself. The real Ron May's creation is hidden in the giant incubator below. Go. Take the elevator and bear witness...
This is huge. The space station has an area this big? An emanator of propagation clone? How can that be?
1,000 wonders to fight its time!
The strength. Heaven sent. I'm on guard.
Tough luck running into me! Here!
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Try that again! Gotta try hard. Watch this awesome move!
I sent a storm. Weaken dormant scales. Blood cleansing dragon. Lance at the ready.
Try that again!
Heaven surge. Rise.
Seize the moment!
I'm on guard. Destroy the space station.
Gotta try hard sometimes. Watch this awesome move! 1,000 wonders! Fight its time!
Awaken dormant scales. track. Heaven's Surge. Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward!
After 56 seconds, the creature was unable to sustain its own existence and vanished as if it had never been born. The threat is over. Time to get going.
Is it over?
The meeting of geniuses is over. As for the future of the simulated universe, that conclusion isn't important. What? You look upset, correct? I regret my actions. There's no defending what I've done. I made a clone, but it doesn't hold a candle to the Emanator. Exactly as predicted. Restrained by time and place, its code of life could only be considered an incomplete attempt. I managed to replicate the moment it was born. Like every living being, it inevitably faced its demise as it journeyed towards the end. However, even the briefest life should have meaning. And it was a minuscule step. Just as I... Indeed. This is how I keep the distractions at bay. I have to admit that research once made me obsessive. I must admit, I'm not fond of scenarios where everything aligns perfectly with my expectations. That's where the joy lies. Even the most predictable storylines can have their pleasant surprises. I have to admit that these little ones born in the process, sometimes I see a human-like response in them. It is a concept completely opposite to that of emotions may be either positive or negative. However, the love rooted in the depths of their heart, and they are still a long way from becoming geniuses, and are therefore unable to That being said, can even geniuses tell the difference? Do you believe my actions were wrong? There's no need to tell me your answer. Do I seem irresponsible? I'm sorry. The effects of the anti-truth serum will also wear off. If others mention, after all, your memory of me. Over time, hidden truths tend to surface. If I do not want a secret revealed, the most foolproof way is to destroy it. It won't take effect immediately. It is a slow, intangible process. Perhaps you'll remember someone performed selfish experiments on the space station. But in that way, the connection between life forms will be erased. It will make our lives more... Thank you. Screwlum will stay on the space station for a while longer. He and Herta, do you still remember the no man's land I mentioned? I miss member number 55 reaching too sometimes. She used to always I hope I won't meet member number 4 Polka Kakamon. Who knows when the next gathering of geniuses will be? Do you have anything? If fate allows and you're interested, upon our next meeting, though I suppose it wouldn't be no man's land anymore.
All remains as it did yesterday.
Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Screwlum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion: their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few pointers.
Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course.
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location. No. The attack happened on a base outside the station.
She received an invitation from the IPC before...
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the...
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was.
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive! Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hints.
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if he wants someone to...
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that? This is what I recall before I met Herta, but let me try to remember the conversation.
A curio that's alive but doesn't. Maybe the researchers at the departments of ecology, Hinkle, and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest...
Asta seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the departments of ecology and insight.
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth. Ugh. If I discover who's behind this... A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal... I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station. We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the people are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's...
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with him. Adler was with Arlen.
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know...
We're walking...
We're having a...
Like I said...
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. No danger of... Brother Arlen,
Can you leave the talk? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable. Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
Rise! Here! Try that again!
Nap time.
You can't run!
Forward!
Watch this awesome move!
Nap time.
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh,
don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know? That's all you got? 2? Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But...
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis. Let's call it a day. Wait for me.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. Right. My memories of Arlen and Adler.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a... How's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? At least that counts as a lead. See? My researchers are pretty out. Just business as usual. Nothing to worry. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but some researchers have been questioning the management and security. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearance... Yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something already? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing you mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should be from the... Not here. That person is probably with the Department of Insight. The other person... Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich?
I'm not...
It's all taken care of. Here's the account you asked for. It's...
Sure.
Oh, you flatter me. I'm small scale. Best left under the table.
Again? How many times?
Here, too. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonderfully... I'm not... No need to be modest. Though I confess I did hear someone say you were the...
Sure.
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How someone... I'm not getting any younger. And my...
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my...
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who... don't get me wrong. I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you.
The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired... Adler. The Xianzhou species Emily...
Have you asked the Department of Occult? Huh. She's not wrong. But...
Huh? What did I say?
Have you asked the... Huh.
Huh?
Huh. She's not wrong. Ah, that's right! They're called heal... Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild... Let's call it a day. Wait for me.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate.
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember that Arlen said more. It's related to the...
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I see. Could you also... I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system, that means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some... I think the words they used were...
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's most likely the truth. I need to go over it from the...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an... Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hints, then maybe...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's a... Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the genius. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want some...
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ear, so... To sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating... A second-hand account. She wasn't at the scene.
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would...
Apologies. It's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, it is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still... If he is truly innocent... Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Based on your story, you met with Herta because and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she's single...
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio itself.
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now.
That's enough. Based on your story, you met with Herta.
I remember now.
That's enough. Based on your story,
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even...
I remember now.
That's enough pretend, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles.
Sure. But you're the one saying the curio and...
Say what you want to...
correct observation?
Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary...
I remember now.
That's enough. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets...
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation...
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius.
Yes. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until... So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management, ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion, and cause great...
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There may be a correlation.
Researchers' disappearance clearly cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act.
Doubt me all you like. You and I are no different. We both stumbled into this, but...
Oh? Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the...
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There may...
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being... Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security...
Yes.
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the Department of Ecology head, he knows more about curios than anyone else.
Well, did he enlighten...
Adler seemed to have an idea at the time, but...
Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen.
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearance. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked. Don't know the location.
She did say that. But then what? You need to provide evidence.
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearance. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire.
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease.
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh?
Insider News Flash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on...
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails...
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy.
Japella Brotherhood. I've heard that name
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, that video will soon circulate.
The destruction of...
I'm afraid more than trust. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell.
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can.
All remains as it did yesterday.
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do...
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people. I don't know. That...
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about...
I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult, but it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. The last time I saw him was in the Master Control Zone.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a... If his disappearance is also related to the case here...
True. The keywords that got Adler think we need to investigate this.
want to see your face again. Oh, it's you. It's Adler. He's been acting really weird recently. Always he doesn't even answer me when I speak to him.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word
phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet. I don't know exactly what he's searching for, but I hope it can help you.
Your countenance suggests... So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging man. I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Screwlum.
It's all yours.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to...
Less than promising. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information. The next angle is what the victims have in common. Distasteful as that discussion last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of...
The link between the three is...
First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
I understand.
Tenuous connect first. Adler's disappearance.
I understand.
Tenuous first. Adler's disappearance.
I understand.
Tenuous connect first. Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some...
Adler also.
You think that Adler's discovery drew...
Indeed. And I already know what he... First, Adler's... The next angle is what the victims have in common.
Distasteful discussion.
A mere glance at their background would indicate they share no common... However, after browsing through their online records, you discovered they all wield Lady Asta must know. The next angle is what the victims have in common. Last is the abilities of Duke. The next angle is what the victims have in common, distasteful as that discussion may be.
I understand.
Tenuous the next angle, last, is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous human combustion. During prior unrest, instigated by the Everflame Mansion, the flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain Look, the answer... This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions of flame behind. The kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. The kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been...
I understand.
Tenuous... The kindling of this... This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions.
It's the phase flame, the creation of member number 29. However, she lived for a mere 29 days. The phase flame shifted into a different phase as soon as it was created. When it returned...
This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions...
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes a kind of...
I understand.
Tenuous... This booklet describes a kind...
I understand.
Tenuous... This booklet does... The kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt...
I understand.
Tenuous... The kindling of this unique flame...
I understand.
Tenuous... The kindling of this unique flame... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous... I fear that this is the truth Adler... When Schurling said, Adler kept muttering about a... I believe this word was actually... As a scion of the phase flame, Duke Inferno would naturally share similar capabilities. That is the truth of the spontaneous... We don't know where the victims went, but Duke and the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station.
A splinter, you said. Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With some changes, Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and...
Like always, Dan Heng. Let's make this quick.
The infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. The way is awash with flames. And be careful. Get ready to dash into the... See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it.
The fire is dying. This place is strange.
It's still resisting. The fold in the space has shifted. I can deduce its escape route with a mere glance.
Why? This has nothing to do with you.
The flame is getting weaker. Duke Inferno can't maintain it anymore. seems like this chase is about to end. It's over.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the firelight, not knowing that the blessings of destruction already lie at their feet. It is little wonder that even the descent of the Savior's Legion was unable to cleanse this place. I will acknowledge my brashness. For now. But next time, expect no intermediaries. I will come to personally offer you the demise of your sins with infernal fire.
The small fragment of consciousness in there is gone. Duke Inferno has discarded this fire. Oh? No. Hold on. It's over. The banal theatrics of stalling. Let's not, shall we?
Not a scratch. I'm okay.
Answer me. Freedom. Knowledge, the measure of truth. And falsehood.
Hit!
0 points. Freedom.
Land! Forward!
So this is the extent of Miscreant's materialism for the Inferno. Seems like the primitive wasn't wrong. The fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
Cleansing dragon.
A miracle.
Land.
0.
Lance! Forward!
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. She is While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation. It was all thanks to They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them. But yes, it is over. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal with any internal. But there is one mystery that remains unsolved, and that is something I must deal. I've been waiting.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to. Or is the safety of the space station...
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair is...
When did you start to
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlum. But do explain, why opt for silent wisdom?
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same decision as you.
Oh. And when?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack. Which never... Logic? A third party say...
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people...
You are more candid than I...
But still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Screwlum. Genius though you are, can you deduce...
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, but maintaining a cool, detached up and pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying down the gauntlet to a...
The ruler of planet Screwlum is indeed well versed in the human mind. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. The path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace, but even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of... I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, they'll find pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit. and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion.
You are indeed more like a...
As for the spark, I leave.
I believe Asta will deal with...
It is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to future encounters with such brilliant minds. A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.